Welcome to 50 Ways to Succeed at Work, where you hear stuff about ways to succeed even the most well-intentioned colleagues, advisors, careers officers and HR departments may never get around to mentioning. This is episode 3, Cut the Cuss. Why inappropriate language can undermine your impact. Morton has been slaving away at the report for what seems like weeks. It was only a few days, but right now he lives for its completion. He's even worked nights in his own time, thinking and refining it. Then it happens. Morton gives a tortured cry.
The friggin' system's down again. Of all the lousy...
Others in the office hear his agony as his loud and continuous swearing echoes through walls and corridors.
Bloody system, we have to have an awful one. The shitty system needs to be...
The computer disaster loses Morton 2 days of work. The so-called backup system doesn't help. Morton's striding cussing reaches his boss's ears. He drops by Morton's desk to commiserate. He sits patiently while Morton lets fly with another stream of expletives. When Morton finally calms down, the boss says,
"That's an awful thing to have happened, Morton. I guess we've all suffered something like that at some time. No wonder you're angry.
Yeah, sure I am.
But letting rip and swearing like that isn't good around here. It won't do your career any favours. You're expected to manage such strong feelings, not impose them on the rest of us."
Yes, I realise you're right. It doesn't feel easy. I'll try to keep my demons under control.
When it comes to swearing at work, there are 3 essential questions people tend to ask. Can swearing at work harm my chances of success? How do I control my swearing at work? How do I deal with someone at work who keeps swearing? Let's start with, can swearing at work harm my chances of success? So how bad can swearing be for your career prospects? Much depends on the nature of your organisation. Some couldn't care less. Others treat it as potentially damaging to individuals in the overall culture. You're responsible for creating and maintaining your reputation. If you come across as a hothead or not in control of your emotions or language, your boss might be reluctant to put you in front of clients or to allow you to represent the organisation. Most employers regard someone who repeatedly uses curse words as troublesome. More than half in research say that they'd be less likely to promote someone who swears in the office. Here's what one expert in psychological control says.
In some cases, foul language may be helpful as a way of releasing the tension and enable frustrated employees to let off steam harmlessly. It may even warn senior managers that something's wrong and needs fixing.
So, while swearing can sometimes be useful in your search for success at work, be cautious in your use of swearing. If foul language comes easily to you, others may be less comfortable with your behaviour. It could put invisible rocks in your way to success without you even being aware of them. For example, using the F-bomb can brand you as having a limited vocabulary. The second question that seems to concern people about lousy language at work is, how do I control my swearing at work? Are you a habitual swearer? If so, it might be time to tackle such undesirable behaviour by digging down to uncover why you do it and find a way to stop doing it. Excessive swearing may suggest to others that you lack confidence or ability. Have you fallen into this habit as a way of coping? Think about both when and why you swear. Do you cuss to impress or do it from habit or because other people around you do it? One reason for swearing is that you're angry, like Morton in the earlier story. Rather than trying to keep a lid on it, find new ways to vent your frustration. Take control and calm down. For example, take a breathing or meditation course and analyse why you're constantly blowing your top. Now here's a challenge thrown out by some experts on controlling emotions at work.
Try going the entire day without a swear word, then 2 days and longer. Each time you succeed, give yourself some reward.
Think about whether swear words cause your bad temper and not the other way round, or whether your temper generates the swearing. Try making notes on how and when you use foul language at work. Brainstorm all the swear words you use. Knowing how and when you go down the swear route can stimulate you to find more inoffensive replacements. The third question that worries people is, how do I deal with someone at work who keeps swearing? First, check out your organization's policies on swearing and abusive language. Without clear guidelines, some employees may feel it's okay to use language with racist or even sexist overtones. A lack of policies opens your organization to sex or racial discrimination claims. You have a right to try and do something about this without feeling you're snitching on anyone. You have the right to expect to hear civil, reasonable language at all times. You should speak up if you think that's not happening. Is there a formal grievance and disciplinary procedure that deals with complaints of aggressive language in your organization? If so, it could mean that any complaint will be treated fairly. Nobody should use foul language in the workplace, say HR experts. For example, your manager or supervisor shouldn't use offensive language or swear aggressively in front of you. In the UK, for instance, an employee is legally protected from bullying and harassment in the workplace. Your employer has a duty of care to ensure your well-being at work. Suppose you have problems with inappropriate language and aggressive behaviour and can't sort them out. In the extreme situation, you may need to raise a formal grievance, but don't embark on this lightly. What should you do if a co-worker is friendly, does a good job and is well liked, yet this person swears like a trooper? If your manager or supervisor seems reluctant to act, try a different approach.
Hey, can you rein in the F-bombs? We're all fine with a little profanity around here, but hearing it constantly is doing us, or you, no good.
So what action am I proposing? Well, first, drop any tendency to use casual swearing just to make a point. Secondly, use alternative words that spare friends and co-workers the tension from your tirades. And finally, quite simply, cut the cuss. And my takeaway from all of this? Even when profanity at work seems acceptable, it may also suggest negative things about you, disrespect and unprofessionalism. You've been listening to an episode of Andrew's 50 Ways to Succeed at Work. For more episodes, subscribe free to my regular weekly podcasts. You can catch up on past ones at the50ways.site, where you can also become a Foundation member with access to e-learning units, transcripts, further reading links, and the forum, where you can ask questions, share problems, and join a growing community of people who seriously want to succeed at work. Now there's a new book and an audio version called, you guessed it, 50 Ways to Succeed at Work. Buy it at Amazon or the50ways.site. Unmissable. Thanks for listening, and bye for now until next week.